Hey, welcome to another unscripted video where I talk about various little topics that I've discovered over the last 15 years or so of writing high impact sales copy for some of the most successful direct response marketers here in the UK. Little stuff that's in my head which I'm trying to get out to the world and hopefully that you'll benefit from. But today I want to talk about something that I've been guilty of myself so badly. In fact, I reckon most people who are trying to break into the creative space will suffer from this. And actually, this video itself, it came about as a direct result of the topic that I want to discuss in the video, and that'll make sense in a minute. You'll see what I'm talking about. Basically, today I want to talk about done is always better than perfection. How many of us, I'm sure you'll relate to this, how many of us want to put an ebook out, e-course, we want to get our ideas out into the world, we've decided that we've got a lot to say and other people could benefit from it, so you sit down to write or try and develop a course, or you want to start a YouTube channel or TikTok, Instagram, you want to create content. But once you start doing it, you sit down and you think, you tweak it, that's no good, and then fear gets in the way and you start thinking, no good, I've got to tweak it, I've got to make it perfect, and I'll just give it another little polish, if you like. Meanwhile, someone else has put something out there, just put it out and started making money with it or straight away or whatever. And the whole problem is that, as I said, the bottom line is it's an idea is just an idea, and if it's in your head, it's absolutely no benefit to anyone. And that's the same with all the knowledge and information that other people could benefit from. But if you don't get it out into the world, it's no good to anyone. You could have, I've used this analogy before, you could have a cure for cancer, but if you keep refining it and trying to make sure it's perfect, make sure absolutely every single person who ever gets there is always cured, good. It's a complete, no good to anyone at all. If it's never out there, it's no good. And I'm not saying put rubbish out. Obviously, that's no good at all. But if you've got products or services that you want to get out onto the internet, create them, do it. And I think the old imposter syndrome kicks in for most of us, and you think, what if people think, and the fear of being judged by other people. And it's really unfounded, really. For a start, most people don't care. Most people don't look at stuff and they just forget it, even if it's, they think, that's crap, and just move on. So you wouldn't be judged anyway, but basically the value of anything you create is absolute zero if people don't get to see it. This really came apparent to me before I started writing copy, as I said, I've been very successful as a copywriter, so I'm not complaining. But many years ago, when I had my previous business where I was an optician, I absolutely hated it, loathed it with such a passion. And I started dabbling on trying to make money on the internet. And funny enough, I came across an old PC that I had, and I just looked. I just went through some of the old history of it, and I found an email campaign that I'd written probably 15, 20 years ago, and I'd never put it out. And in actual fact, it wasn't bad. All right, a bit rough around the edges, and if I put it out now, I probably would think more about it and refine it a little bit. But it actually wasn't bad. And had I put it out 15, 20 years ago, I might never have had to be a copywriter. I might have been successful in my own right as a creator. The bottom line, I missed out on an opportunity, and I missed out on an opportunity to refine that email campaign and learn from it and nurture from it. And I really should have put it out back there and then. And we should, if we got stuff out, we really want to just get it out into the world. And that's the whole object of this video, really. If you've got stuff on your hard disk or stuff that you're thinking about, stop thinking about it. Do it. That's what I'm doing with this video, by the way. I've been thinking about this topic, and I thought, how can I write it? And that's why I'm probably rambling a bit. But ultimately, I just started to pick up the phone, and start recording it and what I'm talking about. When you think about it, an audience or your people, if you like, they don't really care about how something's presented. I mean, if it's presented terribly, of course, that's slightly different. But if something's presented, it's all right. Your audience really all they're interested in the solutions or what's in it for them, what they can get out of what you're offering and what you're providing. This video, if you're not going to get anything out of it, of course you'll just click off it as people do. But if you relate to this subject, you might well start to think, actually, that does make sense. And why am I doing this? Why am I scared of what other people might think? And it really comes down to, I think it is imposter syndrome most of the time, where we start to think we're not good enough or other people are doing things so much better. There's so much stuff out there already. What can my bit, can I improve upon it? Or can what I'm putting out, is it good enough? And really and truly, these are questions that you shouldn't really even be asking. You should just do it. There's always space for new stuff. Strangely enough, one of the things I've learned myself is, even though you think, oh yeah, it's all been done before, YouTube's all been done, everything's been done. What I'm saying it's been done before. But ultimately, people, your audience or people who you connect with, they'll be responsive to you personally. You can say, someone else could say exactly what I'm saying to you, and you just wouldn't have any interest in it at all. But if you resonate with me, you will listen to what I'm saying. Likewise, if I resonate with you, I might listen to what you're saying, but I might not listen to the same subject said by someone else. So bottom line is, there's space. We should just put our stuff out there, and you can learn from it and improve it that much better, because ultimately you get feedback. I mean, if I put this video out and people say, that's absolute shit, Jeff, I wouldn't even bother doing it. Of course, that's not great, and it's not really what I want to hear, but it means that I wouldn't do the same thing again, or I hope I wouldn't, and I would learn from it and produce something better next time. And by producing something better next time, hopefully, then obviously it'll grow in traction, and I can get more benefit from it that way. So ultimately, getting feedback is a great way of improving your products or services, and but the only way to do that is to get it out into the world, from your head out into the real world. And I think it all comes down to a shift in mindset, really, that we've got to start thinking about, we shouldn't care what other people think. It's and that's really, really difficult. We all care what others, especially if it's friends or family, see what you do. You think, oh, what are they going to think? And you feel a bit stupid. But if your message can help or benefit someone else, you're actually doing them a disservice if you can't get your message out there into the world. So if someone can benefit from your experience or something that you've done or a problem you've solved or whatever, as I said, you're doing them a disservice if they don't get to see it. So if you've got something good or tangible or something worth saying, and you want to put it down into even a Google Doc or something like that, nice and simple, even if you don't charge for it to start with, if you really feel that it's no good, just make it available to people and let them be the judge. People will soon tell you, and if it is rubbish, you'll get feedback from it to say it's rubbish. But often when you do things like this, I've had, when I put stuff out, especially with sales copy, when I put stuff out before, I think, oh, that's garbage. And other people said, actually, no, this is really good. And it's the same with our products and services. As I said, I am absolutely convinced if we all started just not being embarrassed, we can benefit that much more. And on that note, I've been putting together my own little product about how to create digital products. Now, I've sold a few over the years with other bits and pieces that I've done, but I've never made any real money out selling digital products. But I've put together a little it's a PDF, little package of a couple of PDFs together, which I've written, and I'm now making available. Now, whether I make any money on it, I don't know. Probably it's not my motivation for doing it. Ultimately, I want to see if what I'm talking about works. So if you're interested, have a look. I'll put a link in the description, but it's a little product that I'm offering. ultimately you can't. Anyone in the creative space has got to make money, and obviously you make money. I've never wanted to make money from YouTube videos. I think the promotion side of YouTube videos is great, but I've never had ambitions to have thousands and thousands and thousands of visitors so that I can make money off the ad revenue. That's just not a model that I'm interested in doing. Of course, if it happened, great, I'd love it, but I'm not motivated and not trying to do that. I'm trying to build an audience, and so what I'm doing here is practicing what I'm preaching. So I'll put this little product out, have a look. If you don't like it, you don't like it, that's fine. There's some bit of free stuff down there as well. So if you're interested, check it out. If not, the point I'm trying to make on this video is if you've got stuff, got ideas in your head, get it out into the real world. Put it out. It doesn't matter if it flops. It doesn't. What have you got to lose by putting it out there? Nothing, because you got nothing from it anyway. It might just surprise you, and it gains traction, and it can lead to new avenues in your life, if you like, or new routes, and take you down a different path that you weren't expecting. All kinds of advantages of just putting stuff out there. So I've probably waffled on yet again when I'm thinking on the fly. I hardly even look at my notes. I don't even bother why I do them, really. But basically, it's just my effort, if you like, of putting into practice what I'm preaching here and trying to get people to put stuff out there as I'm doing now. And again, I'm hoping over time this sort of stuff will improve the more I do it. So on that note, I'm going to close the video here. Probably another rambly one that, as I said, if you got this far, wow. If you haven't, well, you wouldn't know anyway. So, and what have I got to lose? So there we go. Get stuff out there. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's got to be reasonably okay, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Done beats perfection every time. See ya.